Now we're back for part 2 with Adam, Lambert, and Kelly.
When you come to the realization, especially like the first time you start realizing that you're dealing with something, the reaction is to say, oh, what's wrong with me?
Always.
And I think that that's what's being sort of rethought right now, is that, look, everyone's got stuff. Everyone's got their own equation of challenges and struggles that they go through. And it made me feel better, be like, oh, it's because I'm smart. Okay.
I'm just gonna keep telling myself that now.
It made me feel
Truly
better.
believe it.
Right, yeah, it's because I'm smart, yeah.
I'm just, so intelligent.
It's just, my brain's huge, yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, I think anybody out there, I think the good news is that, like, because it's out in the open too, you start realizing that so many other people are dealing with it as well. Like, people in the celebrity world are being open about it. That's great. It's a great time to sort of be open and vulnerable.
I think so too. And owning your vulnerability is the first step in really figuring out who you are.
Absolutely.
And that was something for me in getting sober that was really, really difficult, because it's weird. I am equally as tough as I am vulnerable. And figuring out how to be in the middle is a challenge for me, because I'm one or the other, like a total extremist. And
I think you and I have that in common.
I do too.
Yeah. And I think it's something that you learn at an early age. It's sort of a defense mechanism. You go, okay, I feel scared or weak or sensitive, vulnerable, and I'm going to do something to sort of fight against that. And I'm going to create this persona that I can click into for protection.
Exactly.
And some of that is somewhat healthy, and then it can very easily cross a line and become unhealthy.
Yes.
Yeah. When it's all ego and the ego's being, inflated, and then you turn into somebody that we all make fun of, and you don't want that. You want to keep a balance in your life.
I always think that there's a saying they always say in England when I was a kid: you need to have a word with yourself. And I never truly understood what they meant by that until I got older. And I'm like, you know what? No one's perfect. You're not better than everyone else or anyone else. You are flawed, and your flaws make you perfect.
Absolutely.
Your flaws make you who you are. The mistakes that I have made, I have learned so much from them. And those feelings that come up that make me feel like I'm alone in what I'm going through, I have learned that that's just my mind telling me that, and that's not.
Yeah, it's like that voice that tells you that stuff is like, it's just trying to derail you from your progress. It's just a narrative that you do not have to subscribe to. You do not have to listen to that narrative.
No, it's not my narrative anymore.
And the other thing too, I think, is that I think a lot of us, when we're going through this, especially at the beginning and the first times we're starting to deal with things like anxiety or depression, we feel alone in that. And I think now that we know that so many other people also are going through what we're going through, it's really important to try to find a person or a couple people you trust that you can be open with, so you don't have to deal with this on your own. It makes it a lot easier to have a confidant, a good bestie that you can open up to and you have an open dialogue with. There's no trust issues. I think that if you go to your best friend, for example, if you're somebody that's dealing with this and you are really honest, if that person's a real friend, they're going to be there for you. They're going to understand it. They're going to support you. That's a great way to kind of field out your real friendships from your BS fake friendships,
Yeah. And I think that in this specific time in life is showing you who your real friends are. It's doing that favor for you. It's cutting out all the people who don't care enough to pick up the phone to you and showing you who your real friends are. So you have that kind of a crash course in what's important to you, what's important in your relationships, and the people that you need to keep closest. Like I have my 3 people that I call 17 times a day, that like from the minute I'm awake to the minute I go to bed, we're all on this group text message with each other, just checking in. And if you haven't heard from somebody yet and you're listening to this right now, reach out to the people you haven't heard from. Make sure they're okay. It takes 2 seconds.
I think so. I think some of what anxiety comes from in some cases, at least for me personally, is there's that whole people pleasing thing. And like you and I are both, we've both been around LA for a long time.
Yeah.
Your
Remember
family.
we used to live in the same building?
We did.
Yeah. That was a fun building.
But we grew up, you grew up on TV. I mean, it's like there is a certain amount of people pleasing that goes on. You worry about what people think of you. You worry about how you look. It's worry. That's where the anxiety comes from. And I think now that, we're in this generation where everyone has Instagram, everyone's on social media, we're all sort of putting ourselves out there. And you have to make the decision for yourself, like, where's my boundary? How much do I want to put myself out there? How comfortable am I with this? No one's forcing you to express yourself in a way that doesn't make you comfortable. Exactly. You have the right to say, I'm comfortable with this, I'm not comfortable with this. You know what I mean?
And no is a full sentence. I used to be one of those people that was so frightened to say no to someone. And I made myself miserable by always saying yes. And it's that little thing of having that confidence within to say, I'm not comfortable with this. It doesn't make you whiny. It doesn't make you a brat. It just it makes you a confident human being who knows who they are. And I think that that's a very attractive quality in a human.
Absolutely. And if you feel pressure to be involved in something that does not make you feel good, don't do it. I mean, I know that sounds complicated.
Especially right now.
Yeah. Especially right now,
that make you uncomfortable. Do things that bring joy to your life. Take time for you. That 15-minute bath at the end of a day can make such a big difference. Little things like that I've been doing have really helped. And I've made sure that I walk around the kitchen counter so many times when I wasn't allowed out. So I get 10,000 steps. I call all my friends. They're like, are you still walking around that counter? I'm like, yep. I got to get those steps in.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll watch the third part of Adam and Kelly tomorrow.